It's my pleasure to talk today with Roni Chadash from Israel, who will perform at the festival piece called Body, #1. And this piece is very interest me when I saw it during the Suzanne Delal platform in December, because it was presented in a gallery. And maybe at the beginning, I want to ask you what is interesting for you to present the dance in non-conventional theater spaces? Was it somehow influence that you knew from the beginning that you will present it in the gallery, or it was made for the stage and then you transform it to this gallery space?
So first, I think before COVID, I was supposed to do a piece for a museum in Bat Yam in Israel, and I was just starting to developing an idea of small rooms, that in each room there will be different happenings. So like taking all over the museum and kind of doing a different small dances in each room. And so the idea started from that. And at the end, because of COVID, it didn't actually came to life, but I did started to kind of develop an idea of something smaller, something closer to the audience, and something that also needs a very specific point of view of the audience. So this was the kind of beginning. It was like because of the set, because of how we planned it. And then when we realized it's not going to be in the museum, so we wanted to keep it still in this kind of a couple in a room that is very limited. And I feel that every time that I do a piece at the end, I want the audience closer. I still didn't figure out the distance of watching a group dancing all together. I feel that what I want as an audience is to feel a body as closer as I can, especially COVID wise.
You know, I'm following dancing in Israel for a pretty long period of the time. And what I like really about this piece, because dance in Israel is always like very dynamic. It's a lots of physical movement. It's really energy sometimes like coming to you, and you're just starting to refuse it after a certain amount of time. But this piece is very fragile, and it's very calm and quiet in a way for me. And it was very impressive for me to see somebody from Israel to go to this very subtle work and kind of minimalistic, but at the same time physically very interesting, you know, because this type of deconstruction and construction, a new body, or you don't know what it's a subject and object at the same time. So maybe tell us, how did you think about the creation and how was the process like?
Yeah, so actually it started not with the idea came that in the first lockdown in Israel, I went with my partner in life. He's not a dancer. We went to the studio because we couldn't do nothing else. And you couldn't even be with dancers in the studio. You can only be with who you are in life. And we just played in the studio, and somehow we were in front of the mirror, and we suddenly found this kind of posture of the two pelvises together. And we really enjoyed it, and we filmed it, and we were just like improvising on this thing. And it was very like not serious at this point. So I still have this video. I watch it sometimes, and it's very funny. I can also send it to you. But and then I saw it, and I was like, okay, this idea has something. It has a lot of potential. And I always like to kind of find something. When I find something physical that I feel that it also emotional and can also develop like and create a language, I always like to kind of dig in and explore. I think it's it's what I like about my profession the best, that if I find something enough with the depth, that I can really like discover from the craft and not from like thinking too much. So yeah, this we started this, and then I tried with my partner to develop it, like really building things. I thought at that time that maybe he will do this with me, and it was too complicated for him to remember because he's not a dancer, and it's also very, because these two bodies laying opposite on each other, and you really need to synchronize the legs and the arms, and it's really like separating the body parts. And he was like super slower than I am, and then I thought like, okay, maybe I need two other dancers. And then I found Maya and Ido, which are a very beautiful dancing couple. They have really a good energy together. They're quite magical with their connection. And it was very natural. I just gave them like, let's take this task and see what's happening. And it's from there, it was like a very easy birth. Yeah.
But was like transformation of what you did with your partner. Was a kind of transformation, or was you use some ideas and create?
We just used the physical idea, and then we developed this. Yeah. We started from this at the beginning, just seeing a lot of improvisation tasks to see what happens, and filming a lot. And then we started to see what is it for them, what is it, what do we want, where do we want to take it. Yeah, so it's the piece. We had kind of 3 stages of building. First, it was just this language, and then we developed this language standing. How can we do the same thing with the same, like kind of always connected two bodies that are very synchronized or sometimes not synchronized, but still dancing together. And we really insisted on this during the piece.
Mm-hmm. And how this form is important for you, and how you work with the dancers like to embody that form. What is the process like? How you get to the points of this connection?
I think I fell in love with this form because I really like the mix of genders, and to see how can we like kind of blur who is the woman and who is the man inside the relationship, but also inside like the same form, and to kind of be confused also as an audience, but also they sometimes when they do this piece, they are sometimes getting, you know, you don't know already what's happening because it's so this arm, this head, it's very multitasking. So yeah, I think something about, and it's kind of letting go of yourself in it. And I think this is also what I find the connection to in a relationship, that also in the dance, they really need to give up a bit about their individuality. Like, I'm a dancer and I want to be in control about this piece, about how I present myself. And they really can't do it in the piece because they're always like 75% of the time of the piece, they are like attached, not like without any props, but really with the body.
Yeah.
And it was also in the process, it was also frustrating sometimes, you know, you enter a rehearsal, 3 hours, you're with a body on top of you. It's, sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's not. It's like in life.
Yeah. And would you like, because as I saw it, of course, on the video, so it's only one focus, but the intention is to see it from the front only, or the audiences can choose the focus from which they see the object.
Until now, we did it mainly frontal. I think for me it works the best illusion-wise, but maybe we're still checking this if it's also interesting to watch from different locations. But I think still, because the piece is quite fresh, it's not yet directed to be
from And what about the music? How the music came in?
Wow, it had a lot of ways. At the beginning, we were doing it like all the time with the Rachmaninoff music. A certain piece, I forgot the name now. But then at the end, we deleted it and we kept a lot of it on silence. And just at the end part, we have like a song that we all three of us really like to kind of conclude the piece. So I think something also in the quiet in the beginning, that you can really concentrate on the details, on the small gestures, it creates a different, like it can also be funny because the music doesn't, get over on the image, on the performance. So when the music comes, it's very like freeing something, or like,
Great. So is there anything else you would like to add to the piece, what we should know about the piece, or is it interesting from the point of understanding it?
The image in the piece is very strong, and it's very captivating and funny, and can be weird, and it's a very strong part of it. But for me also, when I watch it, I always think also about the side of the performers, that how does it feel for them to be in this thing. So for me, I don't know, it's a kind of a suggestion how to watch it also from the outside, but also to feel like recognition with how it feels to be that close to another person, and that's like devoted to this, like monogamy bodies that are want to be together, but also, sometimes it's too much.
And is it first time you play with this illusion? Because it's really like, something which is very special. Or you used to play with that before?
I did have several pieces, not with this specific illusion, but I do like illusions generally. I had a different solo that is. I performed with it a lot of the time. Also, like I do this with the head all the time. So all the performance, I'm
without
the
head.
body, without head, exactly. So this is also a very frontal piece, and I think it's also connected to something that I'm always attracted to, seeing the body without the personality. So how can we see a body with like the organs and the textures and the instincts, and not like, hi, I'm Roni. So I'm always interested in how to do it. Sometimes I do it visually, and sometimes in this piece it's also visually, but it's also the moment you get to this image, your concentration goes to not who they are, but just to the physical experience.
That's true. I can confirm. Okay, so we are looking forward to see the piece live. Hopefully we see it live.
Yes.
And maybe people don't know, but you will also go to Trnava, which is great for us, that for the first time you will be presented in a close city, but in another city, and you also work there with the community, with the people. So so hopefully
actually in how do you say
Trnava.
I will also perform the
solo.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. Yeah, so for those who would like to go to Trnava to see the solo, then maybe just say some, you already started to say that something without head, and I mean, I saw the video of the solo. It's yeah, I mean, you have really great mover, and it's maybe just say something about the solo to trigger people and their interest to go to see it in Trnava.
Yeah, this solo, it's called Goofy, which Goofy in Hebrew is my body. Like goof is body, and when you say Goofy, you say my body. And I wanted to put a question mark on this as a woman. As a woman in the street that you get shout, as a woman in many situations that you feel that your body is not your own property in a way. So I wanted, when I found out it will also first, it came from the image that I fell in love with this image, and I felt that then the story came out from the image of what does it mean to be a body without a head. If I'm, you know, like I was always seeing these chickens in the market that you, yeah, it's a hard image, but it was very hard for me. Also, I'm vegetarian, you know, but it was very. Sometimes I felt that women are used. It's the same thing sometimes, and I wanted to do it with the body, in a way. So yeah, it's a different, like more guts kind of solo, but very exciting to do.
Yeah. So, and we are looking forward, and thank you for this discussion, and hope to see you in Slovakia.
Thank you. I really hope that we come.